Good morning, students. Today's class we are going to learn the modal auxiliary verb must. Uses of modal auxiliary verb must. The modal auxiliary verb must is used to indicate obligation or compulsion. Obligation or compulsion. The modal auxiliary verb must is used to indicate obligation or compulsion. For example, you must be back by 10 here. You must be back by 10 o'clock here. He must not do it, or you must not do it. You must not do it. You must see a doctor. You must see a doctor. Modal auxiliary verb must is used to indicate obligation or compulsion. For example, you must be back by 10 o'clock here. You must not do that. You must see a doctor. Point number 2, to indicate determination. To indicate determination or to express determination. To express determination. For example, I must finish this work by next Monday at any cost. I must finish this work by next Monday at any cost. Modal auxiliary verb must is used to express obligation or compulsion, to express determination, and point number 3, to express some strong possibility. To express some strong possibility. To express some strong possibility. For example, there must be some mistake somewhere. There must be some mistake somewhere. All his money, other example, all his money and jewels must be hidden somewhere in this cave. Somewhere in this cave. See students, all of you, modal auxiliary verb must is used to indicate obligation or compulsion. For example, you must be back by 10 o'clock here. You must not do that. You must see a doctor. To express determination. I must finish this work by next Monday at any cost. To express some strong possibility. For example, there must be some mistake somewhere. All his money and jewels must be hidden somewhere in this cave. And next we go to modal auxiliary verb art. Modal auxiliary verb art. Modal auxiliary verb art. Modal auxiliary verb art is used to indicate moral obligation or duty. Moral obligation or duty. To indicate moral obligation or duty. Moral obligation or duty. For example, you must not speak, you ought not to speak, you ought not to speak with your parents, in that manner. You ought not to speak with your parents in that manner. Example 2. You ought to love your neighbors. You ought to love your neighbors. You ought not to speak with your parents in that manner. Modal auxiliary verb ought is used to express moral obligation or duty. You ought not to speak with your parents in that manner. You ought to love your neighbors. Ought, the verb ought that follows always having to after it, that follows the verb ought that follows having to, that follows always to infinitive, that follows always to infinitive. To stress this point, ought is often referred as ought to. Ought is sometimes referred as ought to. Actually, the verb that follows ought always having to infinitive before it. Always having to infinitive before it. The verb that follows ought. The verb here in this sentence, the verb that follows ought, what is it? Speak. Always having to infinitive. So, to stress these points, always the verb ought is sometimes referred as ought to. The negative of ought to is ought not to. So, ought to love your neighbors. You ought to love your parents. You ought to obey your parents. And you ought not to speak with your parents in that manner. You ought to obey your parents and teachers. In that way, we have to give example. After, the verb that follows ought is always having to infinitive. So, to stress this point, sometimes ought is referred as ought to. So, I have written example here. Negative of ought to is ought not to. You ought not to speak with your parents in that manner. You ought to obey your parents. You ought to love your neighbors. You ought to obey your teachers. You ought to look after your parents. In that way, we can write examples. Already we can express moral obligation is expressed with should and must also. But moral obligation is expressed with should and must also. Here we use moral obligation is expressed with ought means a feeling of duty. We express moral obligation with ought is a feeling of duty is involved. A feeling of duty is involved. We can express obligation or duty with should and must also, but by using ought indicates a feeling of duty. Next we go to dare. auxiliary verb dare. Modal auxiliary verb dare. Dare means be bold enough to. Be bold enough to. We can use dare as modal auxiliary verb. And a finite verb. Modal auxiliary verb dare can be used in two ways, as modal auxiliary verb and a finite verb. The uses of dare may look in a different way than those of other uses of modal auxiliary verbs. They may have a different look when compared to other uses of modal auxiliary verbs. Dare can be used as modal auxiliary verb and a finite verb. For example, modal auxiliary verb is commonly used in interrogative sentences and negative sentences. It can be also used with do and did also. It can be modal auxiliary verb. Dare means be bold enough to. It can be used in two ways, as a modal auxiliary verb and a finite verb. Modal auxiliary verb dare means be bold enough to. Modal auxiliary verb as a finite verb means challenge. So use first of all, you learn modal auxiliary verb dare. That means be bold enough to. For example, how dare you fight with me? How dare you fight with me? It can be used in interrogative sentences and negative sentences. Modal auxiliary verb dare is used as interrogative sentences and negative sentences. As modal auxiliary verb, dare means be bold enough to. Their uses also, this modal auxiliary verb, this use of dare also may have a different look compared to other uses of modal auxiliary verbs. Dare he fight with me? He dare not. Dare he fight with me? He dare not fight with me. Not be bold enough. He dare not means not be bold enough to fight with me. Dare he fight with me? He dare not fight with me. Here I told you already, dare modal auxiliary verb dare is commonly used in interrogative sentences and negative sentences. Dare he fight with me? He dare not fight with me. So interrogatives as modal auxiliary verb, it doesn't take s or es with third person singular in present tense. So I have written he dare not. Actually, as a finite verb, it takes yes, he dares not. But as a modal auxiliary verb, it doesn't take s or es in simple present tense with third person singular. If the subject is third person singular in simple present tense, generally we add to the verb s or es. But as modal auxiliary verb, it doesn't take s or es. So I have written he dare not fight with me. Dare he fight with me? He dare not fight with me. We no need of adding s or es. So as modal auxiliary verb. Here it can be used as finite verb. I told you finite verb. Finite verb. That means finite verb dare means challenge. 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 Here example, he dares means here challenges to jump over the well. To jump over the well. He dares to jump over the well. He challenges to jump over the. He dares. He dares to jump over the well. That means he dares, he challenges to jump over the well. As finite verb, the verb must have yes or yes. As a finite verb, we add yes or yes. It can be taken yes or yes in simple present tense. Bhim dared Duryodhan Bhim challenged Duryodhan to fight with him. Bhim dared, that means challenged. As a finite verb, dare means challenge. So it takes yes or yes. As a finite verb, we can add yes or yes. The subject is third person singular. It takes yes or yes. The subject is limited by number or singular or plural. We have to use yes or yes. Finite verb dare means challenge. He dares to jump over the well. Bhim dared Duryodhan to fight with him. So this is the about modal auxiliary verb dare. This is about modal auxiliary verb dare. Modal auxiliary verb dare is used as in two ways, as modal auxiliary verb and finite verb. Modal auxiliary verb means be bold enough to. Finite verb dare means challenge. For example, as modal auxiliary verb, how dare you fight with me? It is commonly used with interrogative and negative sentences. For example, dare he fight with me? He dare not fight with me. That means be bold enough to. Be bold enough to. As modal auxiliary dare means be bold enough to. In interrogative sentences, it is commonly used in interrogative sentences and negative sentences. In any sentence, as modal auxiliary verb, it doesn't take yes or yes if the subject is third person singular and the sentence is present tense. It doesn't take yes or yes. And as a finite verb, it takes yes or yes. Finite verb dare means challenges and it takes yes or yes in simple present tense. If the subject is third person singular, it takes yes. He dares to jump over the well. Bhim dared Duryodhan to fight with him. Here challenge, dares means challenge, challenges, and here Bhim dared, that means challenge. This is about must. In this class, students, you learn the uses of must and ought and dare. Practice them, watch this video, write fair notes and practice them. In the next class with other modal auxiliary verbs, uses of other modal auxiliary verbs, we shall meet again, students. Thank you.